Jeremy, the stage is yours.
Believe it or not, I've just communicated two very specific thoughts to you. Now, I believe that we can all agree that communication is possible with this medium. But the interesting part to me is how that process happened. Welcome, everybody. Today we'll be talking about music, metaphor, and meaning. I've been a composer, conductor, music instructor, and improviser for many years. The musical thing that people are most interested about is improvisation and interpretation. When they play, they do this funny dance and ask, am I interpreting now? But I'm not here to talk about performance techniques. I want to go in depth with you on the perceptive and transference of information part of this process. The process is thus. We go from one thing existing in the world, music, to another thing, this time in your mind, the idea of what that music represents. To do this today, I'm going to be creating a piece of music with you. The beginning has been already determined, but the end will be improvising this conversation. In my head, I have a thought that I want to express to you. I want to show you why that thought is expressed by this music. The thought is this: for all of us together, I want this to be a relaxing and calm moment. A time for us to breathe, a time for us to put our worries down. Let's get started. I want to introduce you all to a good friend. This note is B. Now, B by itself doesn't mean a whole lot. It's when we add B to other notes, that's when we get phrases that mean something a little more substantial. Here we have B, C, D. The note B is a symbol of language, a unit of communication. It's like a letter. When we have B, C, D, then we have a word, a larger unit of communication. When we add that all together we start to get phrases and sentences, larger and larger units of communication, until finally we get to the whole symbol, one thought, the whole piece. Now, what ties meaning to any of these communicative symbols? Let's take an analogy with spoken language. Here, I have the picture of an oak tree, and I use the sound, oak, to represent it and communicate it to you. In our modern times, the sound of this word doesn't have much similarity to the object it represents. So then what makes this association happen? We don't know. It's a mystery. Compared in this way, music is a very interesting and unique communicative medium, for music retains the qualities of the world or the thought in the structure and shape of its symbols. And that means that we can have a logical or reasonable way of mapping symbols to meaning, metaphor. So what we need to do now is to find qualities of the musical symbols and map them to qualities of the final idea. Let's go back to one of our smaller symbols for a second. What qualities are innate in this here? I'm going to go over a list of vocabulary categories with you. The first one is going to be melodic motion or direction. Smaller things, things that can move, jump, fly, climb. They sound like this. We call this direction up. Larger animals, forces of the earth, heavier things, stomping. They sound like this. We call this direction down. Therefore, our first musical quality is going to be the melodic direction up. Now, the wild part to me is that your body knows these associations. We feel rumbling in our feet. We hear the high-pitched rustling of leaves above our head. When we sing or talk, we vibrate and feel with the higher part of our body for higher sounds and a lower part for lower sounds. This idea is going to keep coming back to us. Our body tells us related truths of the world in music. Vocabulary number 2, harmony. We now have some neighbors sounding simultaneously instead of in sequence. Our composite symbol is now a group of 2 notes played together. This is the essence of harmony. Now, what kind of harmonies are these? Most of them are consonances. Consonances are notes that vibrate cleanly with each other. They cause a smooth and predictable vibration in our ears. We can let these notes hang out in the air, and we won't mind it. The other type of harmonies are called dissonances. And they sound jarring and strident in our ear. The ancient Greeks noticed these patterns existing in nature, regardless for how we humanly feel about them. At their basic level, they're truths. Consonances simply align better with each other. This is pretty much the same as 1 + 1 = 2. These are facts that we can agree on. And now that we have facts, later, we can use reasoning and logic to sort them. Our last category is going to be rhythm. This time we've added a whole slew of new friends for B. It's not important this time for us to name them. The important part here is their spacing to each other. First, that they're evenly spaced. Second, that they occur in either groups of 1 long note or 2 short notes. In 2, this grouping is called a duple feel. It resembles the human gait. Now, what is our tempo? This is a pretty steady and comfortable tempo. Heck, I'd even say it's a walking tempo. Now, for all of us, walking speeds are a little different. But the idea is, by either doing the walking for ourselves or by seeing it, we have an idea of what walking speed is generally considered. From about here, it's too slow. It's a crawl. Around here, I start rushing. Now, it's very important for us to drill down. Why is it that we can make this association? Logic, rationality. Now, wait, I thought we were talking about the qualitative and ethereal arts here. And we are. But our rational minds are helping us along on this whole communicative musical endeavor. This leads us to the special thing about music. Music sounds like the idea it's conveying. Qualities of the symbols in groups retain the shape and the features of the ideas that they represent. Through metaphor, our body knows these associations and explains to us what is being expressed in the music. And this is how musical interpretation works. A phenomenon and process that we can't normally do with spoken language. Now, let's look for our musical qualities. What do we have? We have 3. I want to go back and think about what this music means. We now have some facts and their associations and a bridge to map these facts to the final meaning. Therefore, let's talk about the music first. We have an upward melodic direction. We have a consonant harmony. We have a medium speed walking rhythm. Let's map these together. What does it make us think of? Well, for an upward melodic motion, we could have uplifting, hopeful. For consonant harmony, we can have a feeling of alignment, sense of beauty and wonder with the world. For rhythm, we have a speed that is comfortable for human behaviors, a steadiness, a constancy. What does this all mean? Let's tie these all back up together into one final idea. And what does it tell us? Part of the idea that I'm trying to express to you today, this thought in my mind, is expressed by these qualities. However, I've only played the first sentence to you. And here we come to what it is that you can do with what we've done today. You can do it yourself. In fact, you must do it yourself. Listen to the rest of this piece. Look for qualities of the musical symbols. And then, with what your body tells you and your logic, map them to qualities of the final idea. What does it all mean to you? What am I telling you with the help of these musical friends? And here I come to a piece that reminds me of a hymn. It carries the earnest desires of a song without words, a hymn apart from its religion. As a secular study to a film composer, hymns are fascinating because of what they could mean. Without text or words, we still have this music that is meant to make you stop and wonder, slow down and think, be safe, be hopeful, take a moment and breathe. Now our time here is coming to a close, and I hope you'll take this feeling of calmness with you back into the world. I'm going to play the rest of this piece for you now. And while I do that, I'd like you to think about the associations that we have and any new associations that you can think of to bring the communicated meaning of these musical symbols from my heart to your heart. Be in peace. you.